can hear them.
And we are live. Welcome, welcome everybody to MumFreedomPreneurs Hangout. Woohoo! Welcome, welcome. All right. So today's topic is organizing time between work and our family, between work and kids. So what I'm going to do, first we're just going to quickly go across the board and introduce ourselves for somebody that may not know who we are. Maybe it's your first time to the Hangout. And then we're going to dive into this topic. We might have other folks coming in and out, not sure, but we have us here today. I am Valerie Jampolsky, the Abundance Mom Freedompreneur from Abundance Now, and I am a single mom of twin 5-year-old boys. And I will do my usual naked kid alert. Nicole, you haven't been on in a while. Naked kid alert. And because what happens is my kids have a tendency to strip naked, and they're in the other room. I don't know if they're going to keep their clothes on and come back out here, but I've organized myself in a corner here that usually I can keep control of the situation. So just saying, I will hop off. If you see me hop off really fast, that might be what's going on. I see them coming. So, because they can be really fast. So, yeah, and I do this. This topic is perfect because one of the reasons I do what I do is so that I can be home with my kids. I used to be an entertainment attorney, and my goodness, if I'd stayed doing that, I'd be lucky if I'd be able to tuck them in at night, seriously. So I do this so that I can be home with my kids, so I can be there for all those precious moments, and also so I can talk about things that really have powerful meaning to me, which is a lot of things we talk about in the Mumpreneur Hangouts, abundance, believing in yourself, and just helping other families, helping other moms. So I'm going to pass, I'm going to pass the baton over to, I'm going panel left to right for me here, so I'm going to go over first to Elizabeth, and we'll come over to you, Nicole. Bring it up, Elizabeth.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Elizabeth Boweries from the Revitalized family. This is my youngest. This is Elena. She wanted to sit in today, and
Hola.
I'm the mom.
Hi, Elena.
I'm the mom of 4 kids ranging in age from 23 all the way down to 10, and we deal with different disabilities from hemiplegic cerebral palsy to autism to congenital heart disorders to severe asthma. And this enables me to be here for my kids when they need me and to make sure that we have some quality time together, because I'm at a point now where I don't want to work for anybody else. I'd rather be home and be with my family. That's the most important thing to me. So I'm going to pass it on to Nicole.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Well, same here for me. I worked in the corporate world. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm Nicole Barham. I don't have my name tag up here on this. I'm using my phone today because I just ran in from the gym. But yeah, I worked in a corporate job for 20 years, and I just found myself just being on that hamster wheel. And, you know, we had a daughter, and she was just not seeing her parents. And so after 20 years, I'm thinking, I cannot do this for another 25 years before I retire. So, you know, this is why I do what I do. So I can be home with my kids. I work from home. I work online. And, you know, I'm able to take them places. I'm able to take my daughter and her friends. She's on holidays. I'm able to take them out on a fun trip for the day. I'm able to, you know, my son is in preschool or a little summer camp close by, but I still have that time. I don't have to have them be somewhere for 12, 14 hours while I'm, you know, at a job. So it's, you know, amazing lifestyle, and this is, you know, this is why I do what I do. It's really simple, you know, it's not really extravagant, but it's, you know, it's what I love to do.
Hooray, hooray, and I'm so happy you're here. So for those of you who might have been following us for a long time, Nicole's been here. She was here, she went away, she's back. I'm so excited that you're here.
I've just been caught up in a few other things and projects, and I told Zergita that, you know what, I don't want to be, I'll come on as a guest, but I don't want to be like a weekly panelist, because, you know, with my life, it can go either way. Something could be going on and I'm not able to make it. So I'm happy that I'm able to make it today, and thank you guys for inviting me back.
Yeah, no, you know what? It's all good because we all do pop in and out. We're not always all here this week. I am, because I host it. I'm the one that physically on the page hosts it. But yeah, we're all popping in and out because that's the whole thing. It's the nature of being able to have this freedom. You know, it's like you said, the same thing, to be able to go out and do special things. You know, like you guys know I love Disneyland. I love to be able to go and you know the best time to go to Disneyland is during the week. It's during
Yes, it's empty. We've done
the week.
that. Yeah.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
know, even in the summer, still, you know, a lot of people they come, you know, the locals come, you know, on the weekend because that's when they got the time. Or people schedule if they maybe they'll schedule a long weekend or something. So if you go on a Tuesday or Wednesday, especially Wednesday, middle of the week, I love Wednesdays. So. Yeah, so I'm going to briefly get into it, and then I would love to hear you guys jump into some of the stuff and the ideas that you've got on how you do this. You know, for me, I'm one of those people. I really love flexibility, and because I do love, you know, on a whim to be able to do stuff. So it's a matter of having flexibility with schedule. I mean, one of the biggest things that I did in order to manage it was to just rather than having somebody that, you know, I did what I could do, like we said, all of us have done here, to adjust ourselves so that we're doing the kind of work that we are doing is to be at home, to actually be able to be available so that we can have the flexibility to be there for our kids, you know, and you know and not to be able to not to have to ask anybody for, you know, what I can do in that schedule. Now, that being said, being someone, if you are someone that already does that, you know, you're with us, you're in our community, you're someone that does work at home, some of the things that that I'm going to talk about, which really helped me, and it might seem odd, but I find a massive difference in my day, no matter what my schedule is, no matter what I've scheduled to do, is if I make a priority that I set a little bit of time to get up early before the kids, if I can. Not always, but no matter what, to really give myself time to do my personal development, to really dig into positive audio, positive reading, meditation, affirmations, whatever it is that you do. I mean, I have, you know, a sequence of things that I do in the morning, and I know there's a complete difference in my day from the days if I don't do that first thing in the morning, right? It's my day is completely different. No matter what I've got planned, it seems like everything moves a lot more smoothly, and then it doesn't really matter no matter what happens, what pops up. Because let's face it, with kids, with life, stuff happens, and the well laid out plans, whatever schedule you got, can go poof out the window in a moment.
Yeah.
You know, right? You know,
Absolutely.
yeah, and
Absolutely.
so for me, that's a really grounding base for me. It's a real. It keeps me grounded. It keeps me. And it literally puts me in a if you want to talk about esoteric, I really feel like I'm moving the universe and everything with all of that. But it also helps me to be in the most aware space, to have the most positive, productive reaction to anything that can possibly happen in the day. So
Absolutely.
with that, I'm going to pass out. I'll jump in with other stuff. Who wants to? Elizabeth, Nicole, who wants to pop out first on
Yeah,
that?
I just wanted to say that
Yeah.
I think just getting the right mindset before the day starts, because I mean, getting the kids up and, you know, getting them ready for the day, getting yourself ready for the day, to have yourself in the right mindset. And that's what I do. I actually have my phone right next to my bed, so as soon as I wake up,
Yeah.
I pop my headphones in and I listen to my daily audio,
Mhm.
right? And sometimes you can get it out of the way, because sometimes I don't like walking around. Like, people say they work out while they're doing it and other things. I like to listen to like really heavy music when I'm working out. So talking and working out, they don't work for me. So I like to be really quiet and just sit and listen to the audio instead of doing stuff, because I might miss something, right? So that quiet in the morning when, you know, the kids are still sleeping, everybody's still sleeping, I listen to my audio so I can get myself ready for the day, right? And then throughout the day, I, you know, do some reading and stuff. But just getting yourself in that right mindset to start the day, it makes a world of a difference. So that would be my first, you know, the first thing that I would advice that I would give for anyone who is, whether you're already in a home business, or you own your own business, or you're working and you're doing your business part-time, whatever it is, getting yourself in the right mindset for your day kind of sets the pace for how your day is going to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And Elizabeth, what, pop out on any of this?
Well, I know that we've got people listening in and watching today that have everything from babies to toddlers to school-age kids to, you know, it's different for every person. And, you know, I agree with Ms. Nicole that it's definitely important to get your mindset in gear before you deal with anything else, because once the kids start moving around, it's hard to focus on anything but what they need to do until they get to school. I know at our house during the school year, people start getting up here at 4:45 in the morning.
Whoa.
I have one child that takes an hour to get ready, and then she needs to eat. She's got to get out to the bus before 6:15, and her school starts at 7. And then the next one that's out doesn't have to be out until 8 o'clock, but her school starts at 9. So, as soon as that one child's getting up at 4:45, she could do everything she needs to do by herself. But I'm in here getting ready. I'm listening to the stuff that I need to listen to. I'm trying to get myself all in gear, what I need to do for the rest of the day. I try to actually get on and catch up on the things that I've missed overnight. And it gives me a chance, like almost between 1 to 2 hours in the morning, where I can focus solely on the business, where I don't necessarily have them right on top of me. I can keep an eye on what she's doing and how she's getting ready. My son takes her to the bus. I don't have to do that. But, I can keep tabs on what they're doing, but still be able to do what I'm doing at the same time. In regards to babies, because I know there's a lot of people that were talking about having infants. Somebody had mentioned using a baby sling and keeping them with you at all times, which is really good because they nuzzle up and they go to sleep on you. And that's all fine. You could keep tabs on them. But it's really important with a newborn that you sleep when they sleep also. So sometimes it's great to get the dads involved. If you're breastfeeding, maybe pumping milk at times when the baby starts to fall asleep and putting it aside so that the dad can feed them when they're home and you can do other things at that time. It's a cooperative effort. It really, really is. I'll pick other things as we go.
Yeah, and the other thing is anything that you can do within a business to have automation. That's one of the things that I love about what we do is we have systems set up. I mean, there's a little bit of work up. Have systems set up, and if you're just starting, if you're just getting started, in a business, and you're setting up, and you've got like little ones, especially if you've got babies, you need to sleep. You can do it in bits and pieces. That's what I love. If you're not talking, you're your own boss. Like for me, I'm my own boss, and I can decide if I'm setting something up, how much time I give to it. Right? You can do it in pieces. But once you have a system set up, to keep it running. I mean, I don't know about you, Nicole, but often, I mean, you just take a few hours a day and you can do it in pieces. I know Sarita, you do it when the kids are, when there is a longer nap, when they're a little bit older, but, can do it at night as well. It doesn't take a lot of time. So if you can have a business, something like what we do, where it doesn't take a lot of time.
Absolutely.
It's not an 8-hour-a-day kind of thing. You have the freedom to do a lot of other stuff. I don't know if you want to chime in on any of that.
No, yeah, I was just going to say that the best thing that you could do for your business is to have a system that does most of the heavy lifting for you. It's not like you don't do the work, because you have to do the work. You have to communicate with people. It's a people bit like there's no way that you can be in business and make sales without having to interact or communicate with people, right? So you do have to be that face of your business, and you have to be, you do that, but at the same time, you don't want to be the one who's always explaining every single thing, all the nuts and bolts of your business, right? So that's why we use systems that do the explaining for us, and then any questions or any other admin stuff that we need to do in our business, any other, maybe a hangout that we need to do like right now, maybe, coaching calls, just the things that we need to kind of not cultivate, but kind of keep our businesses running without all the technical stuff, right? That's where the systems come in, and that's why any business that you're in, guys, any business that you're in, if there's no system and you're the business, it's like having another job where you work a lot more hours and probably get less pay. So think about how you can systemize what you're doing right now. If that's what you're passionate about, that's what you want to do, think about how you can systemize it. If you're not in a business yet and you want to learn the system that we use, because it's pretty simple and anyone can do this. A lot of people without experience, myself, Valerie, Elizabeth, all of us had no experience coming into this. So, anyone who invited you here, reach back out to them and, find out what system are we using to make income online, because just working a couple hours a day, you can definitely do this.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just actually right below. You can just click below and you can get the info on it. If whoever brought you here, you'll be able to just click on that. But so I love a question for you, Nicole.
Sure.
So what in terms of do you have like a set time of day that you tend to set aside to do certain things? And like, how do you structure it? Like, how have you got yourself structured between your kids and when, I mean, obviously, things come up and that's where the mindset is huge.
Mm-hmm.
What's, like, in terms of structuring, because we don't have a lot of time we need to put in, but how do you structure, like, have you got like a system of how you do it, or you kind of run it day by day?
Well, I have a little system going. I try not to make it too complex. I see a lot of people having like some calendars and all kinds of, in fact, that looks like a lot of work to me. They have these huge planners and they have all kinds of stuff going on. I have a tiny list of 5 things that I do every single day. It includes I just extract it from the 8 core commitments that we have in our business. I make sure that I listen to audio daily, read daily, and I market daily. Now, I always try to do everything in the morning because I'm not, when it comes to the afternoon, for some reason, I just start going a little bit down. So I make sure that in the mornings I do my audios. I work out at least 4 times a week. So that's why I'm still in my gym gear, my gym clothes, and I do those in the morning so that by the time the afternoon comes around, and then I gotta go get my son, my daughter wants to do wants to do stuff. I make sure that I get everything in the morning. And the thing is, guys, it's not that when you get everything set up, it doesn't take a lot of time. Like, I can have all my marketing done in an hour. I can set up a campaign in an hour or half an hour and just leave it running and have, the rest of the day to do what I want to do. Sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes it's full and there's other things going on. But on a typical day, that's what I do. Get everything done before 1 or 2 p.m. and then I have the rest of the day to do other things. So that's what I do. I don't have a huge calendar or timers or anything like that. I just keep within a certain time.
Well, that's brilliant. That's brilliant to know that, and the same thing is that you can get the actual, marketing piece done. You can do it within an hour, which is cool. When you have your systems up. When you're first starting, you're setting up systems. It might take a little bit longer, but you can work it in. You can schedule it in. I mean, for me, when I'm in mode and I'm setting something up that's new, I might stay up a little bit later at night. And I've learned, for me, one of the biggest things with my kids is making sure, because there was a period of time when where I didn't. I'll be honest, I was just kind of like, which way am I? What am I doing? And once I had the clarity of exactly what I was doing, which is why I have such appreciation for the tribe and community that I'm connected with, because we have an incredible system, is that it can get very easy if you don't make the priority for your kids, especially if you're at home, to make the priority to spend some time. So I'll make priority to say, okay, every day this is what I'm doing with the kids, right? And I actually block that. I block that and then know that, I set an intention for a time period. I love that you got, for you, it's in the morning, because your kids are at school, right?
Yeah, my son goes to the preschool that's close by. My daughter is here, but she's 13, so she's
it's different.
He doesn't need a lot of tending to early.
Yeah. So same thing. So for me, the little ones, and so when they're up, the focus is like so it's to make that to have a time schedule to do stuff with them that's really focused. And I remember actually one time when things get really, really crazy, like if there's something like a lot going on, just stuff in life. Like I've had something like right now, to be honest, I'm in the process, we're going to be going to Bali, and one thing I realized is like, holy moly, we need to renew our passports, right? I was like, oh, timeline, I got to get this done so I can get it done in time, And so, on certain days there might be a lot that you got to get done and different things and paperwork, because there's all these documents and all this stuff. And I remember Sarita, I'm just going to shout out to Sarita, she'd thrown out something that she had suggested that is something that she just does every day anyways, if you have little ones, is you make a point with each one to have 10 minutes of special time that's just their time, and they know that. Really super focused. 10 minutes of this is your special time to do whatever it is that they want to do with their directed play, and do that with each little one. If you have like a bunch of little ones, so that they know if you have a lot of other things that you might have to take care of in a day especially, but even just doing that on a regular basis helps. I just thought it was a brilliant idea. I want to share. She's not available to come on right now. I don't know if she's gonna have a chance to pop on or not. It's really late in Australia. But that was something that she had shared with me that I just found really, really helpful. And just really making that priority of having that time. And I love what you're doing, that you have like a sort of a general period of time. Like I know for me, when I say to myself, okay, this is my period of time today, and it does vary, like a day I go to Disneyland, this is my period of time today that I've set for doing this, and just blocking it off. Like oftentimes if you treat your business like a business, so to really have that period, it doesn't have to be a long period of time, just this is my little period of time, and have the same thing. This is my period of time. I know for sure I'm doing something really powerful with the kids. Right. Whatever other scheduling stuff, just basic stuff, that you got to do for the day, whatever that is. Yeah. Elizabeth, sorry, go ahead, Nicole. Yeah.
Was Elizabeth going to say? Were you going to say something?
What I was going to say is, aside from having the time slotted and put aside, I found that I have the 3 kids that are much older, and then I've got Elena who's younger, and she is very attached, as you can see. And she likes to do stuff with me. So I found that as I do some of the things that I do with the business, I include her with it. She actually does some of the videos with me. Sometimes she narrates them, sometimes she's the main focus, but she's doing it with me. So it's not like she even feels like she's being slighted or anything, because she's an active part of it. And she's trying to say, what did you want to say?
Go for it,
One time in a video we learned 3 patriotic songs.
Yeah, that's true. One of the videos that we did recently was about different songs that we had learned in school that were patriotic songs, because she had oh my goodness.
School concerts,
and she had a moving up ceremony in the Girl Scout troop, and they were supposed to, at the beginning they do a salute to the flag, and they're supposed to sing a patriotic song. And the problem was that the songs that they were coming up with were these big, long-winded songs that none of the kids could remember the words to. So the one morning we were talking about it, and she asked me if we had ever done songs like that. And in the span of 20 minutes, I taught her 3 songs. And she was so happy with it that she just wanted to make a video to put up on my one page that is part of my business. And that's what we did. And believe it or not, that video got over 4,000 views.
Wow. That's awesome.
I wasn't expecting it, but it worked. And, it's just another, you can incorporate your kids into a lot of the business. You can turn around and do activities with them too. Yeah. But there are also times when you've got to do a little bit of stuff where you can't necessarily have them right on top of you. When they're smaller, like she's older now, but when they were 3 or 4 years old, Norris and Katie would be right on top of me all the time. And Katie's autistic, and we were having trouble getting her to learn how to speak. So one of the things that we used to enable her to speak again was, I don't know if they still have them out or not, the Disney sing-along songs. We used to put them on the TV, and when she first started getting used to them, I would sit there with her and we'd sing it with her interactively. But as things progressed and she started enjoying it, I would be 4 feet away watching her as she was doing it the whole time, but I'd be able to take care of things that I needed to take care of too. It's finding ways to incorporate it, because they don't have to be on top of you every second, but you want to make sure that they're safe.
Absolutely.
In regards, go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead, Nicole. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that I think it's a great idea to kind of, especially in an environment where you have a business, home-based business, when you kind of include them, then maybe they will have a different idea about what they want to do in the future, right? Maybe they want to own their own home-based business. Maybe they want to go into business for themselves because they see the freedom that you have to be, home, to, be with them, to go to the gym, to go for a walk during the day, to go to Disneyland and on a Wednesday, whatever it is. When they see that, when they see you living that, then they probably want to have that for themselves instead of, going to work for 40 years for corporations and, all the stuff that happens in corporate America. Maybe they will want to follow in your footsteps and then become business owners themselves, right?
Well, another really cool offshoot of this has been that my 14-year-old runs her own charity.
Awesome.
She has the Clothe Our Community charity, and what she does is she goes around and collects clothes in good condition. We hope that they're usually washed when we get them, but we make sure that they're clean before they go anywhere else. They are bagged, they are labeled as to what they are, and they are distributed to local food banks. And the food banks love it because they're already bagged. You can see the patterns, but it's got all the information on the front, so nobody has to pull it out, stretch it out, mess it up
Right.
before anyone else gets to it.
Right.
This one is trying to figure out what kind of a charity she wants to run. And it's all because she gets to see what we're doing, what I'm doing online and dealing with other people, and she's interactive in it. And she sees that it makes a difference for other people, so she wants to make a difference also.
Yeah. Awesome.
Great.
Sleepyhead over there. Yeah, so I want to see if anybody, Elizabeth, can you take a quick look on the page and see anybody that, if you're watching us, if you have any ideas or questions that you have for any of us to see what's going on, if we have any. I forgot that at the beginning, sorry guys, because we're usually very, very interactive and like to bring in other folks' comments. I know we have a bunch of people watching.
Well, I know that there's a bunch of people that are watching because I was told so this morning, but not that many people are being that interactive this morning. It may just be one of those lazy summer days.
That's okay. And if you happen to be a mom that's watching this and you're watching it in the replay, please definitely, put your thoughts and, if you have questions, comments, anything, your experiences, your ideas, your suggestions, definitely please put them in the chat because we do go in and we check it during the week and to be a part of this because we know we have different people in all kinds of different time zones and all of that. So I remember something else. It's funny because I know maybe some of you guys might relate to this, but I remember a family member. I know someone else that has twins, and I was used to joke with her because she'd always make lists on things, and then I was like, why are you always making lists? This was before I had kids, and once I had twins, I was sort of told, you know what? Because I used to keep all kinds of stuff in my head all the time. And so that's why, having a chunk of time, that's a good thing. That's something I can hold in my head. I'm going to do this at this time. But when there's days, and this was something that she actually taught me, when there are days where you might have a lot of extra things on your plate, okay, just because stuff comes up, that in life, like I said, I'm working on getting the passports. I got something else I got to take care of paperwork-wise. I'm looking at different kindergartens right now, and one of them, even this one, I'm looking for a virtual one, but it's a lot of paperwork that they want, let me tell you. So if you ever have like a big project or something in front of you that it's adding extra into your schedule, whatever it might be, and it was a suggestion, and because I got overwhelmed at one because it was so much that I had to get done, and there was a deadline because certain things come up in life that don't have anything to do with business, that just have deadlines, right? And then you got your business, you got to run everything else with the kids. What do you do? And this was a suggestion, and it was to take a piece of paper and to just brain dump onto that paper everything you got to do. I mean, everything from I need to get apples and oranges and bread. Seriously, like the items on the list, because I was starting to run through like I got to do the grocery and all these things on my list. Because usually I don't write a list for the grocery. I kind of keep it in my head and I go. I have a sense, right? But I mean to literally write it out, like every little thing that's got to get done. that needs to be done. All these things that are just all the bits and pieces. I've got to go get this piece of paper. I've got to photocopy that document. I've got to, whatever it is you got to do, including, with the kids. I got to get them dressed. I mean, breakfast. I mean, seriously, like literally just throw it on a piece of paper, just random. Then go to the paper and circle what are the things, and grab another piece of paper, or circle it at first. Just circle the things that are, no matter what, have to get done. Like there's all the things, like there's the bits and pieces, but then, like prioritize what's number one. Out of all of that, out of everything you just dumped, what's number one? What's number two? What's number three? And get like your first, 5 things that have to get done, right? And put those on a separate piece of paper. And take all of the other ones and carry it around with you. And as you go through doing each of these items, check it off. There's something about a relief when you've got a list that's in front of you and you can check it off when you have a lot of things to do. And I found it really, really helpful. You would think that it would be overwhelming to dump it on a piece of paper, but it wasn't. It was the exact opposite. There was something relieving about it. Instead of having it flipping through my mind and worrying about I was going to forget this, that, or the other, just getting it on paper somehow made it seem more manageable, choosing what was the highest priorities, getting those things done first. And I got to tell you, because I had things that I had to get, like they just had to get done. And even if I wasn't going to sleep, somehow I was like, okay, I'm going to have, I'm going to get myself a cup of green tea and keep plowing through. But I managed to get everything done. And I don't know if I would have, because there's a lot of energy and stress that comes from worrying about, because all that is really, it's really, what do you call it? You're projecting worst case scenarios. That's all worry is you're projecting a worst case scenario, which is stressful and frankly creates more of what you're worrying about.
Right.
It just does. So for me, I eliminated that and allowed myself into another space and just literally made it, it made it possible for me to do it when things came up. And even if you have a big project, let's say you're getting started in business, or you have this great idea for a new project to do as part of your business, to break it down into pieces. Break it down into, like, what are the things within that you're aware of that you need, because always stuff is going to come up. What are the bits and pieces that you need to do within that, and schedule it out, saying, okay, well, I can do this piece, and then I'll do this piece. Something about doing it and breaking it into those chunks and breaking it into those pieces and getting it on paper, for me at least, and for other people that I've talked to about this, relieves the stress on it and just makes it easier. I don't know if this resonates with either one, with you, Nicole, or Elizabeth, with you want to deal with any of that.
I think it helps a lot in many instances, but there are other times when you just get so overwhelmed with everything that's going on, even looking at it at a paper, that sometimes you just have to take a minute, go into an area that's slightly quieter, and just sit down, relax, take a few deep breaths, and just let your mind go. Because you get, I get so overwhelmed that I start getting snippy. And all of my kids will tell you that when I also have PTSD, and when certain things start triggering me, they are warned in advance. Okay, this is what it is. This is what's bothering me. You need to back it down a little bit because otherwise mommy's going to escalate. We don't want to go there. And, they're pretty good about it, but they know that at that point in time, I need to have 5 minutes to myself to zone back down, because otherwise everything's just coming in on top of my head and I can't handle it. So I need that time to de-res, even if it's only for like a minute or two. It does a huge amount of difference to calming the situation down and lets me refocus and then look at everything again and see where I want to go next.
Cool. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it's, as Elizabeth was saying, just getting some quiet time to decompress and to kind of, get yourself organized in your head, right? So I think it's a good idea to just being organized overall, just being, because if you're out of whack and everything's out of whack, then your day kind of goes the same way. Right, so always being able to organize your thoughts, organize your as you said before, Valerie, put it out on paper if you need to, but just always have you. If you're not organized, then honestly, guys, your day's kind of shot. Right? You don't. Okay, what am I doing? What should I be doing now? Oh, I forgot to to market. Oh, I forgot to send this email to my list. Whatever it is, you just have to be sure that you're organized on paper and up here.
Yeah.
I know that some people may have seen it on my pages or whatnot, but even last week I got really overwhelmed in a situation that was going on. And when I can't take that moment or two to myself, I like doing photography to relax. And you'll see that when I'm getting overwhelmed, I'll post a landscape photo onto whatever's going on, and I bring it up on my phone, and I just look at it. I look at all the leaves. I look at the scene. I try to lose myself in that for a couple of minutes. If I can't get away from the noise, I can't get away from the noise. I mean, with the kids at home, I can do it. But if I'm stuck in a busy, crowded place and you leave, you lose your spot in line. I just bring up these pictures on my phone, and I try to focus on them and focus on the tranquility in the picture and try to ignore everybody around me for a little bit, and that sometimes helps too. Because
Yeah.
otherwise I'm going to snap at somebody. I'm human.
And
I
we
do
need
it.
that.
Yeah.
We all need that time when we can, because some of us think that we're robots and we run around. And to add into that to Valerie, sometimes people don't take time off from their business.
No.
And I find that it is the same way that you take time off from your job is the same way that there's a day or 2 days that everything's running on autopilot or automated. You leave it as it is and you take a break, right? Take a break.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with me. I work out. I've been working out for a long time. And so I go to the gym now 4 times a week. But there are days when I take, not days, but once a year, I take 2 weeks off. I don't go to the gym. I don't do anything. I make sure that I eat well because I don't want to undo all that I've done before. But just you need to kind of refresh yourself, right? Re-energize, get refreshed. Take a break. Take a day off for the week, or take 2 days off for the week, and then come back, and then that will kind of remove a lot of the stress and remove a lot of the things that us business owners have going on.
Absolutely. That's brilliant, 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 brilliant advice. For me, I think writing it down is part of my release. Something that I was recently inspired with is actually Michael Bernard Beckwith, if you're familiar with The Secret, was saying this, that oftentimes it's kind of like, the universe, or however you want to say, source, God, whatever, situations come up to help us. So when we're stuck in traffic, Los Angeles, traffic happens. It just really does. When you're stuck in traffic, you're waiting in a line somewhere, you're waiting for something, and you're kind of like in a holding pattern, and there's all kinds of stuff that needs to happen. I think it's brilliant what you're doing, Elizabeth. I mean, for you found a way. You look at a picture in nature, and it grounds you and it takes you back. It's like to allow that moment it's giving us a moment to really turn within, and to just kind of let go of whatever's going on, realize everyone else is around us. We're all kind of in this together. If everybody's stuck in a line, whether it's wherever you're at, if you're in a line or if you're in traffic, you're all wanting to get wherever you need to get done, whatever need to get done. So you're all kind of, in a way, there's that unity of we're all in this together in a way. Which can bring up a little bit of compassion out of anything that's going on. If somebody cuts you off in the line or wherever, it's no, seriously, or like it's like he gave the example, you're at the grocery store and someone comes in with 17 items in a 12-item line. It's like, maybe you got to be somewhere with their family. It's like this stuff happens, and to release and kind of let go of all that and use that as a moment. It's almost an opportunity to go in, and we talk about the mindset thing at the beginning of the day. That's giving us a moment to actually do that and
Yeah, put it to work.
It's a beautiful gift. It's actually a gift to take that in. And I love, like, nature really helps me too, Elizabeth. Nature really, really, really helps me too to in with that. Yeah.
The other thing, and you're going to laugh at me for it, is the law of attraction has helped me so much in those immediate anger-driven moments because when something happens, someone cuts you off in the car, like you were saying in the line, I immediately go into, I am happy and grateful. I am happy and grateful that I did not have a car accident just now. I am happy and grateful that this person is alive and able to drive to where they're going. I am happy and grateful I'm going to get to my destination in one piece. You know, and because I'm pissed.
Awesome.
I'm really pissed. But if I'm doing the happy and grateful, it gradually switches from negative to positive.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
it's better than letting it fester.
Absolutely. Listen, ladies, I would love to stay a little bit longer, but I gotta run.
That's
I
good.
have a
I think,
few
we
things going
yeah.
on, but it's so great to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. And
Thank you for coming.
sure. And anytime you guys are having, if I'm available, I'll be happy to jump on and join the conversation.
Absolutely. Any time. Feel free to hop in. Feel free to hop in. And
Cool.
yeah, and connect with where I think because unless we have any other comments on there,
I checked. It doesn't seem to be very active right now.
okay, it's all good. So for everybody, welcome. Thank you for coming. And if you've got any, if you're watching this in the replay, you have an idea, suggestions, anything that we've said that's assisted you, let us know. And we loved having you here. Yeah, Elizabeth,
Just a couple little other things, things to do with the kids when they're in the medium age range. What we do with Elena and some of the other kids that occasionally I watch is we make sure that they have coloring books on hand, crayons, reading books. If you need that 5 or 10 minute span where you're going to be able to do something, but you need the kids to be occupied, but they're going to be in the same area. You give them a picture to color, ask them to color it for you. And when they're done, they bring it to you and you for each other. As long as you're giving them, they're content to do something else. One of the things that we've done is I've had the kids come up and make their own plays. And that keeps them busy for like 30, 45 minutes. And they'll come up and they'll make their own plays. And then at the end of it, you've got a 10 or 15-minute thing where you're interacting back and forth, and everyone's so happy to have gotten their own little piece done that nobody feels that they're missing out on anything. I'm just trying to figure out, our hangout title was things to make work and home and the kids mix. So, it's just you find little things that they love doing and that you can incorporate back into your interaction a little while later. And then they don't feel like they're missing anything at all. You get some work done and you actually get more bonding time out of it.
Absolutely. And when you can get involved where part of what your job involves, your business involves is actually enjoying life and living your passions, whatever they may be, with your family, with your kids, that can be a part of it. I'm at Disneyland. I shoot a quick video, I take a picture, and that's actually me out there having fun, or at the beach or at the park or whatever, watching the fireworks, no matter what it is, it becomes it's actually part of my business. So that's why I feel I have such gratitude that my job involves me. Part of my job is to actually go out and have fun with my kids. Seriously, because that's really, and then share my life. So, which is really, really what we do. So, with that, and anything else, Elizabeth?
I don't think so. I've been popping things in little by little.
No, it's good. We're good. So, thank you all for coming. Comment, share your thoughts, comments below. And, if you haven't already, if you're already here watching us and you're not already connected with us, to me, that just says there's something really powerful here for you. Definitely click the link below and, connect with us, and we'll see you on the other side there. And we will see you all next week.
Have a good week.
Have a good week.